Hey, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Chris Rose Rotation, presented to you by John Boy Media. Oh, look who's back. It's Lucas Giolito of the Chicago White Sox. Hello, friend.
How's it going? I'm here in. Sorry.
No. You're where are you?
I'm in Chicago. This is my apartment. You want to see the view?
Yeah, I do, actually. I want to see what we're dealing with here.
It's pretty nice.
Okay, it's sunny out, so that's a win.
Yeah, I have to close these or the light is really bad, but let's see if I can give you guys a little peek here.
Oh my gosh.
Let me take this off real quick.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's baller.
It's pretty nice, right?
Yeah, heck yeah.
That's right there. The Willis Tower now. It used to be called Sears Tower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When I was a little kid, it was the Sears Tower. Not anymore. All
right, let me close these.
No, it's good. How long have you lived there?
This is my 4th year staying in this building. I'm not going to say the name of the building.
Please don't.
And this is the highest floor I've lived on now.
Yeah, well, you're moving on up.
Yeah, I'm trying to enjoy the views and, just a little bit each year,
So I think
maybe the penthouse one day.
Yes, I think Giancarlo Stanton actually owned the top 3 floors of a Miami high-rise several years ago. No joke, the top 3 floors.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, what, 300 million, 250 million?
Yeah, dare to dream, Lucas.
There you go.
Very excited because we've got your former high school teammates, Max Fried and Jack Flaherty, coming on. The 3 of you together, which, I don't even know the last time you all saw each other in person.
Oh, man. It was in LA at some point before season. That's all I remember.
Okay. You guys, you all pitched on opening day. How frequently do you guys communicate?
Oh, at least once or a few times a week.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to do a deep dive into this whole thing, find out some interesting stuff about the kids. You and Max were in the same class, and then Jack was a couple years behind you, but at one of the most successful baseball programs, not only in Los Angeles, but the entire country. So we got a lot of ground to cover, and we'll get to them momentarily. But do you remember when we were talking about you being a part of this show, and you said, hey, what happens if I don't pitch well one day and we have to talk about it? I was like, well, listen, you're not going to have 32 amazing starts, so you're going to have 1 or 2 that aren't great. So here we are.
Aren't great's an understatement.
Yeah. Was it because you're not a morning person?
No.
Okay.
I have thrown early before. The last time I pitched in an early game was the playoffs against the A's, and that went well. The game started at like 12:10. This game in Boston was at 11:10. Patriots Day. Routine, everything that I do to prepare for the start was the same, kind of leading up to it, and I just wanted to kind of shift my clock forward a little bit so I could be, up and ready. I felt good. That morning. I felt awake. I felt ready to go. All my pregame stuff went well. Bullpen before the game was fine. And I went out there and I just got shelled. No other way around it.
Right. So when things go sideways, which it happens occasionally, you're in a business that's predicated on how you deal with failure. Like when you're stepping off the mound for a second, you're like, holy shit, I'm getting my ass kicked right now. Like, how do I get out of this? Are you talking to yourself? Is that what happens with pro athletes?
So everyone's different. Some guys get really, really mad and kind of use that as fuel to like make pitches and get out of it. Like, fuck this, I'm going to fucking do it. Other guys, it's like, all right, slow the game down, deep breaths. I think that it was just going so bad that for me, I was just trying to execute this pitch. I really got into trouble with that changeup it wasn't moving how it usually is, and I was leaving it up.
Mm-hmm.
And so I try to keep going back to it. I mean, that's not a bad one, but it just didn't have that like nice finish I usually get with a 2-strike changeup. They might have known what was coming.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know for sure. Like, I don't really want to get into that too much on here, just because like there's work I have to do for tipping and stuff like that I don't really need everyone knowing. But they might have known what was coming. They might not have. They might have just had a really, really good approach against me to sit back on that changeup. And I just did not make good pitches that inning. And then I came out the next inning, homer, walk, I was done.
Mm-hmm. And then, so when that happens, like we don't see anything from the starting pitcher like the rest of the day. Does it? I don't even know what you do. Do you go into the clubhouse? Do you sit by yourself? What happens? I don't even know.
Go in the clubhouse, and I mean, for me, it was like almost being in shock. It was the worst start of my career. I thought that having a start like that was behind me, that would never happen again. I mean, I've had similar ones in 2018. We've gone over that, the blow up start. But yeah, I was kind of like in shock right after I came out, like, whoa, what, that happened so fast. And like, what even was that? But that's part of the game sometimes. I mean, I got my ass totally kicked, the worst it's ever happened in my career. And all that you can do is come back from it strong and go out there next time and have a good one, which is what I'm planning on doing.
Right. Did you talk to anybody? Because we've talked about this, like how you relied on people in your life. Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I immediately talking after I come out of the game, you know, I was kind of to myself for a while, and then I'm talking with the other starting pitchers. What'd you see? You know, where were these pitches ending up? You know, I was getting immediate feedback. Then after the game, talking with Yaz, talking with Ethan, starting to get to the bottom of some of the issues there.
Okay.
And then even the next day, looking at the video, talking with Ethan more, and a couple mechanical things that were off that morning that we've since addressed. And then as far as like tipping stuff, again, We'll see.
Okay. Well, listen, I appreciate you getting into that, because a lot of people don't know what happens when inevitably you get your butt kicked. So thank you for sharing it. It's not fun. It's not comfortable, but we do appreciate that. So don't think I don't appreciate it.
And I appreciate all the Venmo requests I got that day too.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
People bet money on sports. You never know what's going to happen, man. Like, that can happen even to the best.
That is funny. That you have to chuckle when you get that.
Yeah. The like kill yourself on Twitter doesn't make me chuckle, but the Venmo requests, like, hey, you owe me money because I bet on this game and you blew it in the first inning. That does make me chuckle. But the one thing that is really hard, really, really hard to sit with, even like now, days later, is I lost a game for us in the first inning.
Right. I heard you say
that. You know, out of 162, I lost the game in the first inning. Like, that's on me. And then I heard our bullpen, and I had to make not just one, two of our position players had to pitch. Like, that's unacceptable to like fail at my job to that extent, that now we have two guys that have to go out there and risk who God knows what, not playing their position, trying to get 3 outs. Tough one.
I appreciate it. I respect it. I did like watching Yermin Mercedes do his Fernando Rodney hat tilt.
Well, yeah, I mean, they both brought some interesting stuff to the table. And so like, at that point, I was like in the training room with ice on watching it, and just like, it was a mixture of emotions at that point, because I was so disappointed in myself, and like watching this unfold, like, oh my God, like Yermin has to pitch. And then, oh my God, Danny has to pitch. Like, God damn it. But then, you know,
hey, Danny had some good shit working though, bro.
Danny's air cutter is something else, isn't it?
Is that what we're calling it? Air cutter?
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see the first one came in and hit him, but then he recalibrated because the air cutter is an interesting pitch. You kind of throw it and you have to let the air and the wind take over.
I love it.
Right there. See that thing?
It's amazing. That's
yeah.
not a knuckleball?
No, air cutter.
I've never heard the term air cutter in my life.
Dallas throws them when he plays catch.
Oh.
It's like, it's the weirdest thing. I don't know how they make that happen. Like Dallas's is really, really good and consistent because he's actually a pitcher. But like Danny just pulled this one out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Got his first strikeout ball.
Oh, yeah. Well, Danny's now your Zach Greinke. So you've got something to go to in July or whatever when those bullpen arms are dragging at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, let's talk about something that's more fun. How about my team getting no hit against your team? Does that make you smile a little bit more?
Ooh, Hard Carl, man. He came through that night.
What'd you just call him?
Hard Carl.
Why is that?
Because that's like he was being Hard Carl that night. That wasn't Carlos Rodon. That was Hard Carl.
You guys all have like pseudonyms for you guys?
It's like a nickname, but it's also his Twitch name. Like my Twitch name is General Geo. His is Hard Carl.
Got it. Thank you.
It's just
I'm cleaning that up.
Yeah, I'm just joking around. But man, so impressive. So here's a little tidbit. Starting pitchers were not allowed to be in the dugout right now. I know some teams like aren't following that rule, but if you're not starting that day and you're starting pitcher, you're supposed to be in the clubhouse,
right?
Away from everybody or in a suite or whatever. And so it was like the fourth inning. I'm kind of wandering around, I'm like, ooh, nice pace of the game today. Solid. Like we scored early, like feeling good. This is great. Carlos is throwing well. And in the training room, we set up some chairs just so we could watch it. There's a big screen TV in the training room and set up some chairs. It's like, who was in there? Dylan was sick and he was at home. Lance had already left because he was pitching the day game the next day. So it was just me and Dallas. And we set up these chairs in the training room, go in there, kick back, start watching the game. And it's like, oh, another 3 outs in a row. Fifth inning, another 3 outs in a row. Neither of us are moving. Like we're not really saying anything. We're just kind of like looking at each other. And it's just another, oh my God, another 3 outs. And now I'm sitting in the chair like.
You're like Leo Mazzoni rocking back and forth.
Yes. And I mean, it's just like I was frozen there. Dallas was frozen in his. We weren't moving. Like that was that. Liam said that he goes out to the bullpen, 4th, 5th inning, whatever. He said he went out to the bullpen, already knew what was happening. And he doesn't like sitting like in the lower section of our bullpen. He says it gets too hot or something because he's always all bundled up all the time. So he went and sat up like in the outside part of the bullpen where the actual mounds are on a bench there by himself. And he did the same thing, except he's in the cold. And so he said it was miserable, but he was just sitting there like this on this bench by himself while all the rest of the guys in the bullpen are in the nice warm area. They're chatting with each other. So I don't know. It's like, I'm not very superstitious, but like he had a perfect game going.
You guys are just like us. You are. Look, this is what moronic fans do. We think that we can influence the outcome based on where we sit, what clothing we're wearing, what we ate that day. You are just like us, Lucas Giolito. Admit it.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. With certain things, like I don't really care about like the food I ate that day or like how I put my shoes on or anything like that. Here's the thing. No. If I'm in control, like I'm pitching, I'm not that superstitious. Like I have my routine, the like stuff I need to do to prepare for my game. I want to follow that to a T. But if it is out of my control if I'm watching and I care. Like, I care about every single one of our games. I get nervous. I get like, I'm moving around. I'm like, man, oh, what's happening here? Like, if there's like a 3-2 count with the bases loaded, I'm on the edge of my seat. But if there's a 3-2 count with the bases loaded and I'm on the mound, I'm in control, so it's fine. Like, whatever happens, happens. That's how it is for me.
So you were way more nervous watching Hard Carl do his thing than you were in your game.
100%. Oh yeah, I was a nervous wreck.
And so when he hit Roberto Perez on the toe, what was your reaction?
Just like, man.
Are those the words you used?
Yes.
Really?
I remember I was sitting there and like at this point in the 9th inning, he already has one out. He has an 0-2 count. I'm just like deep breaths. Like I'm going like this. And he throws that back foot slider and it's too much back foot. And it was just like, oh no. Ooh, dang it. Like, that's my best reenactment. Acting.
Yeah, it was average. Although I did love that you really kind of got in with the whole rocking thing. So that was good.
But yeah,
that was good.
Man, I feel weird now. Like, I've really put myself back in that moment. But after it happened, like, it's over. It happened. Runner on first, 2 more outs, secure the no-hitter. And he did it.
So you weren't allowed to go on the field and celebrate?
So since we were doing our like weird superstition thing where we didn't want to move, we were still sitting there. And then like that last AB, I think, was Luplo.
It was.
Who's good tough against lefties, very tough against lefties. And I'm like edge of my seat, 3-2, maybe a couple pitches, 3-2. And so every single one, I'm like trying to get up. Nope. Okay. Foul ball, trying to get up. And then he throws that high changeup. As soon as he smacked it, and you see Yo-Yo field the ball, and I think it was Leary. Yeah, Leary was playing short, and Leary's throwing his hand up already. And as soon as that happened, like I'm busting out of my seat and running down the hallway and running outside. And so like, I don't know how much of this you have. Yeah, it's going to cut off by the time me and Dallas got out there, but we eventually got out there.
Protocols be damned.
At that point, yes.
Absolutely. Well, that's great.
How about Carlos going to Moncada before Zach?
Yeah, right? Zach, well, the ball was hit hard, so I guess
it's okay. Zach's getting a very nice watch.
Is that what he's getting out of it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Who caught yours? Was it Grandal?
James McCann.
Oh, James, right.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you hook him up with?
A Breitling.
Oh.
Pretty nice engraved, like on the underside with all the like stuff and stats from the game.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. Wait till you guys see what you guys get for being co-hosts this year.
Ooh.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Embroidered t-shirts. I think that's what's on back order.
It's on back order.
Hey man, somebody had to take pay cut on this show. So there's only so much we could do. Got kids in private school. You understand what's going on. Speaking of private school,
I watched the documentary on Netflix about the scandal getting kids in, pretending they're on the water polo team.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, we know some people on that stuff, on that train. I imagine your parents know some people, too.
I got to ask them. Ask them.
That was a huge scandal.
I remember doing... Because what the guy's business originally was, he was doing like test prep, right? And like kind of guidance counseling and, oh, this is what you need to do to apply. Like, I remember doing that to get into Harvard-Westlake, that ISEE exam. And I went and I did I hated it so much. I was like, what am I doing? This is terrible. Like, I need to do this to get into this school. And yeah, I had to do the test prep for that stupid exam. And I ended up doing fine on it. And I got into school, but then the ACT rolled around and I don't even want to get into it, man. I was an athlete. I could have gotten gotten an 18 on the ACT and no one would have cared.
Right.
But my dad really wanted me to do well in school all throughout school. And so I did more of that shit. Like I enjoyed, like, the guy I worked with though, he was freaking awesome. He was such a cool guy. But like, going in and like learning, oh, like this is how the test works and you need to do this, that, and that. Like, man, brutal. It's just so, like, thinking about it now, it's like
wait till you go through
the
it as a parent, young
advantages,
man.
the
Wait till you go
advantages,
through it as a parent.
but the advantages, the like privileged, wealthy have,
Yeah.
and the way the whole system is set up
Oh,
now in college, and like, oh, if my son goes to this school, it's now like my status is higher among all my rich friends.
dude.
Like, oh,
it is ridiculous.
It gives me the chills. Yeah.
You're right. But the Roses would never do that. Just to let everybody know, we would never fake it. Now, I do have my 15-year-old dressing up in a Speedo and wearing goggles around the house every day. But we think that's normal.
Getting those Photoshop skills.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Roll with it while we can. Never too early to start with those kids. Speaking of the good old high school days, we will be joined by Lucas's former high school teammates, Max Fried and Jack Flaherty. They're doing an interview together for the first time ever. Hold tight. Hey, everybody, I want to tell you about Aced Out. It's the cap for Major League players. 46 different ones to choose from. You've got Mike Trout, Fernando Tatis Jr., our own Lucas Giolito, and even my former favorite Indian, Francisco Lindor. Very nice. It's officially licensed by Major League Baseball players. Also, they're made and embroidered right here in the good old US of A. They got snapbacks, trucker caps, dad caps, whatever you need. They don't only make lids. They also make these things. Look at this. Cool t-shirts. Men's tri-blend tees, officially licensed by the Baseball Hall of Fame. You got the likes here of Johnny Bench and Frank Thomas and Cal Ripken Jr. It doesn't just have like Johnny's number 5 on it. It's got all of his individual and team accolades from over the years. It's really cool. And one of the things I love about it, it's super soft. If you're like me and you get like itchy skin, depending on the sort of t-shirt you're wearing, this thing is smooth. It's like butter. Also, a quick reminder, you get free shipping on any order that's over $35 and use the promo code ROSE. You'll get 20% off your first order, courtesy of Aced Out. I want to let everybody know that this episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. Now, we all have to admit, it's been a hell of the last 12 to 14 months out there. Everybody's feeling a little down in the dumps. It's been really strange out there. Well, guess what, guys? It's time to snap back into action, especially in the bedroom. So let's do that with Blue Chew. It's a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but they're a chewable form and they're delivered right to your door. Now, Blue Chew tablets, they help men with all forms of ED out there. And as I said, it is an online prescription service. So that means you don't have to go into the doctor, don't have to have those embarrassing conversations, no awkward waiting in line at the pharmacy. It is delivered right to your door. Now, Blue Chew's licensed medical providers will actually work with you to find the perfect ingredients for you. And one other thing I love about this, it's chewable. I'm not going to blame my parents here, but I never learned how to swallow pills as a kid. So here I am, a 50-year-old man, and I'm chewing medicine all the time. That's perfect because this thing is called Blue Chew. So it's going to work great for you. So if you need that benefit and that little jolt of confidence in your life, visit bluechew.com and also use the promo code ROSE at checkout. You'll just pay $5 for shipping. That is bluechew.com, promo code ROSE to receive your first month free. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast as well. We continue on here on the Chris Rose rotation on John Boy Media, and I feel like I should be wearing my Letterman's jacket. Kids are back in school. It is the Harvard-Westlake Triumvirate, as Lucas Giolito is joined by his old high school buddies, Max Fried of the Atlanta Braves, Jack Flaherty of the St. Louis Cardinals. Max, is this the first time you guys have done an interview, all three of you at the same time?
I think so. I can't really remember a time where all of us at the same, sitting down here, getting together. It's pretty rare.
Jack, this is nice to see your boys, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good to see them. I think this is definitely the first time we've done something together all at once. I think so.
Nice. Okay. So, Lucas, when was the first time you met each one of these guys? Do you remember?
Ooh, man. First time I met, man, I'm trying to remember who I met first.
I'd say Jack.
Jack showed up when I was a junior.
Yeah.
Max, did I meet you at some summer thing before that? Before
we met at area code tryouts going into junior year.
Yeah, we went up in Santa Barbara. I remember that day very vividly because I hit Wayne Gretzky's son with a fastball right in the shoulder blades. But yeah, I might have met Max first, like that summer, or I met Jack that summer. I know that Jack played some summer ball coming in before the season started and everything, or before the school year, I should say. But man, I don't think I have any like special, like immediate memories coming to mind. Just that when Jack showed up, I was like, wow, this guy's so athletic. Shortstop, third baseman. That's kind of what he showed up as. Then Ethan got a hold of him and he turned into a pitcher. And
So Jack, had you heard the name Lucas Giolito before you got to Harvard-Westlake?
Not at all. Didn't know who he was. I do remember meeting him because like I was a freshman and I didn't know. I think I knew like two guys on the varsity team because they played at Sherman Oaks Little League. And so I knew them and they like we said hi and Lucas came over, introduced himself, said hi. Like it was just a very quick hello. He was one of the first guys I didn't know to introduce himself to me, but I had no idea who he was. We didn't follow high school sports. We followed none of that. So I had no idea who he was. And, you then just come to find out everything. He's committed to UCLA. I had no idea what that was about. So, but had no idea going into it.
And Max, you were the last guy to kind of join the group because you were at another high school which had lost its baseball program. I'm sure you were well aware of Lucas and Jack, right?
I mean, from our Little League days, I've heard about Jack, with Encino and Sherman Oaks. It was kind of the rival Little Leagues. I've heard of Jack when I was a lot younger, but I knew Lucas because ironically, my high school field, the Montclair, was off campus the same way that Harvard-Westlake is. And the fields are actually in the same lot right next to each other. The Montclair field's now the Crespi field. So, there would be times where I would see Lucas drive off from practice and we would like stop by and say hi during our junior year. But, you just kind of hear about guys in the area, especially your year.
Yeah. Shout out to Mid-Valley, by the way, representing out there. Let's all get it. That's where my son takes hitting lessons. DA, you're doing a great job with him. Way to pump Brady Rose up. Good work. So out of curiosity, Lucas, when you've got three guys that are this talented on one team and the entire team it's a wonderful program, but did you guys ever sit down on the bench at times and start talking about major league aspirations? Was there ever that conversation?
Yeah, I think that we talked about it a decent amount. I can't recall too many specifics other than we would talk about like, it would be cool if we were all on the same team, continue what we've been doing here at the higher level. Didn't work out that way. Maybe one day, we'll see.
So what were those conversations? Why was there no jealousy, Jack, back then?
Yeah, because I was too naive to understand anything. I was just a sophomore, and for me, there was no reason to have any jealousy of it. Like, they were my friends. I didn't look. It was like, all right, they're 2 years older than me. They're both, as far as I know, they're going to UCLA. And then it was like, all right, well, both these guys are going to go in the very early first round of the draft. So I was like, this is cool. Like, this is just cool to be a part of. This is fun. Like, you got scouts showing up to see them. Like, I'm just hoping that they do well every time that they get up to pitch. So I was just rooting them on. Like, these were my boys. Ain't no reason to have jealousy over anything. I was just rooting for both of them every time they were out there.
It didn't help that Jack was the best
really know
high school
what's going
pitcher out of all of us too.
Yeah, that's the funniest thing. Jack's stats blow both of ours right out of the water.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Jack had better pitching stats than me in my senior year.
Well,
He was a sophomore.
So Jack, you were pitching as a sophomore when, I mean, I know Lucas was kind of shut down because he had the arm injury, but you were pitching.
Yeah, I was pitching. They were throwing Tuesday, Friday. I would kind of come out of the bullpen like if needed. And then when Lucas got shut down, I had to pitch a lot more. But that's kind of how it started. I was pitching, but I started throwing a lot more once Lucas got shut down.
Mm-hmm.
Max, what was draft night? What was that night like for you?
Crazy, hectic. I was lucky enough to be surrounded by friends, family, and teammates and stuff, and we kind of got a little like viewing party together and just kind of sat and taking phone calls, not really sure where you're going to be going. And I definitely remember it was like a whirlwind of emotions.
Even though you guys were good friends, you and Lucas, was there a little bit of my God, I would love to get drafted earlier than him?
Not really, because for me, at the beginning, I definitely knew like Lucas was throwing, he was like 96 for his whole entire, like his starts during high school. I don't think he threw a pitch under 96 before he got hurt. So at that point I was like, okay, well, this guy's probably going to go number 1 overall. That was the thought in high school.
And Lucas, what was it like for you that night? Because your life's about to change, but so's your buddies.
Yeah. Oh man. My draft experience was a little different. Obviously I blew my elbow out. I wanted to go 1-1, and then that's not a possibility if you're not pitching your senior year with a bad elbow. So it was very stressful that day. I remember just sitting on the couch. It was at home. I had just had a few friends over and stuff and family. And that was like kind of the beginning of the era of like pre-draft deals where guys kind of have an idea of when they're going to get picked. Because you have your advisor talking with teams and they're like, okay, like, will you accept this much? Will you accept this much? Like the only pre-draft deal I had was like something in the second round. And so all I knew going into the draft was that if my name fell to this team in the second round, then I would be picked. So when I got picked 16th by the Nats, it like when I saw it on TV, that's when I knew it happened. Like it was a complete surprise. It was really, really crazy. Because I mean, they picked a guy with a bad elbow. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, no, I remember that night. And people were like, well, listen, if he gets healthy, it's a steal. And if they don't, they just whiffed on a first rounder. So good job, Nats, and then good job, White Sox, in making the trade. Mm-hmm. Can we get to the real stuff? Jack, who was the best hitter out of the three?
Ooh.
Look, Lucas was not in that realm. Lucas was a PO since he was a freshman.
Yeah, just get me right out of that combo.
Max had the better numbers in high school, no doubt about that. Max could have gone on and played center field for some team.
100%.
No doubt. No doubt. Lefty, one of the only people to beat me in a race.
Is that my first hit? Yeah.
Yeah, he could. He did it all. I mean, he could do it all. I mean, obviously, from a competitive standpoint, I pick myself. Max is gonna pick himself, and that's just the way it is. The way it is. Like,
Max, could you have been a center fielder?
If he says no, he's lying. I really enjoyed playing outfield in high school. I don't know where I would be today, but I definitely would have. I'm interested to see like how I would have progressed if I chose that path.
Well, did you guys talk about what it would be like to face one another at the major league level ever?
The last time I faced Lucas, it didn't really go too well.
Oh, it did not. It did not.
So what happened, Lucas?
So this was preseason before senior year, and I think I was still kind of getting used to being off a mound again and getting used to like my higher velocities I was throwing at. And so we all thought it'd be a good idea to have an inter squad game where Max gets in the box against me. It was like one of my first times facing hitters before our senior season. And I don't remember if it was a deep count or if it was early in the count. It was second pitch. Okay. It was 2-0. I went like fastball away, nowhere close. And then this is a miss that I don't make very often, but I like pulled a heater up. Like I pulled it, but usually when I pull it, it goes down like that. But I pulled it like this way and it clipped Max right across the nose.
Come on.
Swear. It was horrible. It was one of the worst days ever. And he goes down like screaming in pain. It broke his nose. There's blood everywhere. I'm standing on the mound like ghost white, can't move. Like, I'm like, oh my God, what did I just do? Like, I just killed him. And we ended up like, I don't know. He ended up being fine. He had to get his nose set. It's not the first time you broke your nose, so you were like used to it already. But yeah, then he had like the raccoon eyes for about a month, and we were able to eventually laugh it off. But it was a pretty scary moment.
Were you pissed, Max?
I mean, at the time, I wasn't expecting to get like 96 in the face on a 2-0 heater, but it's just part of the game. I mean, you just got to get out of the way next time. I wasn't expecting it, but I think it was like for the next month, I hit with one of those like cages around the full cage.
Yeah.
Did that for a little bit, and then I'm pretty sure that I got hit early in the week, and then I like ended up pitching that weekend or something.
Wow.
So
Jack,
it wasn't one too long.
So Jack, you were outside of the vacuum. You were the only guy not involved here. Where were you?
I was actually playing short, and I remember watching it happen. And yeah, that he's zooed one up and in. It clipped. I didn't know where it hit him. You just see him holding his face, and I assumed the worst. I was like, oh man, this is. And he started hearing my nose. I can't feel my nose. And he just like goes, and you see that pull his hand away, and you just see blood start dripping. We're like, oh no. I was like, I mean, at least it didn't get his like clear in the face, and it just like, I don't know how bad, like how much of the nose it hit. So, it ended up being that way. But my only thoughts were, I went and talked to Lucas because I was at short, and I went and talked to him and was like, all right, because we were going to continue practice. Our coach was like, all right, man down, but we're still going. And so I had to like get him back together of like, yo, you still got to go. And then I'm back at short, and I know a righty got in the box, and I'm like, I'm so happy I don't have to get in the box right now. There's no way I'd be like, I'm not getting in there.
By the way, it's not like little Johnny, who's going to Princeton in the fall, just got hit. It's like your dude just got hit.
That's why I mean, that's a huge reason why I'm like, oh my God, like if it got him in the eye or something like that, or broke his jaw, like that is not good. You can't play.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could have cost Max millions of dollars.
Glad it didn't happen though.
Yeah,
we got lucky.
We're all very thankful.
So can we show a clip of Lucas Giolito hitting, guys? Jack, I would like you to break down why he didn't run to second on here's his
Max was there for that. Max was there for that.
I remember seeing this live.
Yeah,
this was live, huh?
Why is this not a double, Lucas?
He was too busy celebrating.
First of all, I swung the bat. It was a hanging slider. I swing the bat thinking I'm going to like shoot it up the middle or pull it. I feel contact, but I have no idea where the ball went. So I have to I finish my swing and I'm like, did I foul that off? Like, what's going on? I look out there and I see the first thing I see is the outfielders like doing this. I'm like, oh my God, I just got a base hit. So then I start running, but I'm like so busy kind of like peeking over to see if those runs are scoring. I don't know how to run the bases at all. Like I haven't done it really since I was a sophomore in high school before they took the bat out of my hands. But like there you see me with Debo, just like I was so pumped up, man. I was so pumped up because I wasn't pitching that great that game. Yeah, we were down like 2-0 and I just got 2 RBIs to tie the game up. I don't know why Tehran threw me so many sliders that day. I can't catch up to 90.
We'll put that in the Rolodex for everybody else out there. Max, when your buddy does that and it's against your team, were you like chuckling on the inside a little bit on the bench? Were you like, oh my God, I cannot believe that happened?
I just knew that I was going to have to hear about it for a while.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah.
That's what happens. So, Jack, you actually were in the batter's box for the first time that any of the three of you face the other in the freaking playoffs. Like, you can't even enjoy it. It's a decisive game 5 in 2019. The Braves are already getting their butt kicked, and your buddy comes in out of the bullpen because Flaherty couldn't do anything, and the Braves are kicking it around the infield. Like, I imagine you would hope this was going to be in the month of July and you guys could smile at one another and have a little fun, right?
Yeah. I vividly remember I was on the bench and like somebody got a hit. I think it was second and third. And then they're like, yo, you're up. They're intentionally walking. I don't remember who was hitting eighth. And I was like, okay. So I like run up there, and then their manager comes out. And I'm like, there's no way they're bringing. I knew Max was warming up. I was like, there's no way they're bringing him in right now. This is such a bad idea. And they and not because I was like, I didn't want to face him. And if I was in his shoes, it would just be like, it's a lose-lose. And that point of like, whatever happens, it's like, he's supposed to get me out. And I would be like, I don't want to give up a grand. If I was pitching, I'd be like, I don't want to give up a grand slam to Max. I want to punch him out, but like, I'm not loose. It's like the 4th time he's pitched in the series. Like, I don't know how he's feeling, but I looked up and saw my mom and our high school coach, and I like smiled. I was like, there's no way this is really happening right now. I was like, you can't make this stuff up. And yeah, I know Matt, he wasn't warming up very long either. It was one of those like, hey, get hot. And then it was like, you're in the game. So I knew all of that was happening. And I'm like, I don't know how this is going to go. This is going to be interesting. But obviously I'd wished it happened earlier. So it was one of those, one of those interesting at-bats.
Max, what a crappy way to face your buddy.
I wouldn't have.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, at that point, you're just trying to, obviously things were going well. There wasn't really much time for thinking on my part. I kind of came in the game and realized that he was hitting, and you guys know what happened.
Yeah, Lucas, were you watching that game?
I was, and I was screaming at the television, like, why? What are you doing? Why is Max coming in this situation? He's a starting pitcher.
Yeah, like, coming in with the bases loaded.
It's that one, and then like the Blake Snell being taken out of the game in the 6th inning or 7th inning, or whatever it was. Like those two, where I'm like, I think about them all the time. Like, what's the thought process here?
Bringing a starter into a bases loaded situation.
At that point, I mean, I was coming out of the pen for the series and a little bit at the end of the year, and I'd done it before. So like, there's no excuse. I mean, I got to come in and throw strikes. That's kind of just the way I see it personally.
All right. A few more things. Lucas, I'm going to put you on the spot because I know the answer is not you. Better athlete, Jack Flaherty, Max Fried.
Oh, man. Dude, I don't know. Like, that's such a tough one. They're both very, very good athletes. Damn. Maybe I have to get. See, here's the thing. You're putting me in a really bad spot here. I can't answer this.
So give me the best traits of each of them.
All right.
What can they each do that will make us go, wow?
Jack is like very, very in tune with pitching mechanics. I'd say he's probably the most in tune with like pitching mechanics and body movement out of all three of us. Max is the fastest, like runner.
Who could have played another pro sport? Man. Like I always heard Jack Flaherty could have gone to North Carolina and done both sports, football and baseball. Is that true, Jack?
Jack never played football.
You ask me, I say yes.
But
Max is a better basketball player. Max was a stud in high school.
Yeah,
Max could hoop.
Max was like a 3-point wing guy.
Oh,
3 and D.
Yeah.
So you're like a Euro power forward.
He's a left-handed.
Oh no, I was like a 2 or 3, ran the wing, like guard the guy on the perimeter, run the lane on a fast break, and I didn't spend enough time learning how to dribble with my right hand, so I was a liability. But
but you're like a Manu Ginobili.
Left-handed Klay Thompson.
Manu's really good. Manu's really good.
He is good.
Catch and shoot guy.
Okay, catch and shoot. All right, that's nice. Solid. So Harvard-Westlake, for people that don't know, the school is wonderful. It's one of the top prep schools in the entire country. Super smart kids, great athletic programs. They also have a ton of actors that come out there as well. And I didn't know that one of the three of you were actually a budding theater major.
Ooh.
Let's see.
That's Beanie Feldstein, by the way.
Yeah. Shout out Beanie.
She's doing it.
Yeah, she's crushing it. She's crushing it. So, Jack, you're right behind Beanie in this performance. How do we grade your performance overall?
You know, there's nobody else in the world I'd probably do that for other than Ted Walsh.
Yes.
And I think these two would probably have done the same thing. He's a special person, special human being. So, you know, just for doing it, I think we did all right. I think all of us did all right.
And who's Ted, everybody, so he can fill us in on this?
Ted Walsh is a cinema studies teacher, a long time teacher at Harvard-Westlake. He teaches cinema studies. That was my personal favorite class I ever took at Harvard-Westlake. These guys would probably say the same-ish. And he's like, I don't know what the term for it is, but he's like the baseball teacher. Like he comes to all the games and he promotes it, and he loves his baseball.
Huge Cardinals fan.
He
Yeah.
was pumped when Jack got picked by the Cardinals. Yeah. And so, you know, we all still talk with him and visit him when we can. Yeah, he was amazing. He was really there for me a lot when I blew my elbow out and I was kind of like struggling mentally that senior year. And so I'll always appreciate that. Shout out Ted Walsh.
That's awesome. What do we think of Jack's ability on there on stage, Max? Pretty solid?
Hey, better than I would have done. So
yeah.
Credit to him.
Lucas,
I agree.
Your brother's
man.
a thespian. He would have thought pretty good.
Yeah, we talked about this 2 episodes ago, man. Like, I don't like being on stage. It makes me nervous.
Yeah. Okay. All right, we're going to play a little game. Let the guys go. We're going to call this the Harvard of the West. Since that was a stupid name, but that's the best I could come up with, guys, on short notice. Sorry. Jack, out of the three of you, who got the most attention from the ladies in high school?
Max.
Is that true?
I agree. Max.
Yeah.
Max.
GQ.
Sure.
Yeah. Reluctantly take that one. All right. Max, which of the three of you most looks like he gets dressed in the dark every day?
Lucas.
Without a doubt. I don't know, man. Jack is out of this. Jack wears nice clothes. Max,
me and Lucas definitely. We definitely. I'm in a sweatsuit right now. I'm wearing sweatpants and a sweatshirt right now.
Yeah, me and Max battle sometimes. Like, I'll dress up nicely sometimes, but I really don't like to. I'd say Max is kind of in a similar boat. Max kind of has an edge on me because he goes to Target and gets all the cool like throwback graphic tees.
What?
Nice. Lucas, which of the three of you has the best beach body?
I think it's got to go to Jack here. Jack builds his arms up, man.
Yeah.
Is that right, Jack?
No comment. Say to that.
Which of the three of you, Max, is most likely to be the CEO of a Fortune 500 company?
Ooh. I'd probably say Lucas.
Yeah.
You gonna take that one, Lucas?
CEO? Ooh. I feel like I like the creative stuff a little bit more rather than business, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I would say Jack, just because like he's already kind of building his own, he's got his own brand, like he's doing it.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Point.
similar area.
And last one, Mr. Jack Flaherty. Which one of the three of you do you most want on your side in a bar fight?
Lucas.
Size.
He's
Pure
Lucas
size.
is 6'7". Like, you look at everybody's like, they get around Max and I like, oh, you guys are big, and then Lucas comes around and you're like, oh, this is a big dude. Like, this is a different big. And he's just a big dude, and you just look at it and you're like, all right, yeah, I'll take him.
What's your fight record, Lucas? I'm 0-3 all time.
0-0.
Nope. You have never been in a fight ever?
I've never been in a full-blown fist fight.
Come on. What's the matter with God? You are a private school kid.
There's been a couple instances like, you know, out at night when I was younger, but it never gets past me grabbing the guy by the shirt and putting him up against the wall.
Okay.
It's never gotten past that point. Like, here's the thing. If someone my size were to like actually challenge me, I don't know what would happen. I don't have experience.
You're saying there's no scouting report on Lucas Giolito?
No, zero.
Okay. All right. Jack and Max, we appreciate it, man. Thank you guys so much for coming by and being amazing guests. It's great to get the Wolverines back together for a little bit, and you do not leave empty-handed. I've got something special for you on the way out. Here we go. Max and Jack, Lucas Giolito has promised to sign every photo in his senior yearbook, especially for you. That's right. If you're missing the big old lug anytime on the road during the baseball season, just crack open that Harvard-Westlake yearbook, and Lucas will be there, smiling and all. That's courtesy of the Chris Rose rotation. Enjoy, boys. Don't say
Thanks,
we didn't ever
Lucas.
get you anything.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, guys, continued success and stay healthy. And we really appreciate you making some time on your days off. We really appreciate it. It was a lot of fun getting to hang with the group.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Awesome. Thank you.
I got to tell you, it was such a treat to see the three of you guys together. It was nice. There's fun little like smirks and stuff when the other guys are talking.
Yeah. I mean, we have a long history, man. We've all been through a lot together. Yeah, it was great to have those guys on, and you know, maybe we can do it again, maybe later down the year or something like that.
Yeah, it'd be nice to check in with him. I know that Max is not off to the start he had dreamed about, but he'll get there. He's way too good.
Neither am I now. That's what I texted him. I actually texted him that night. Like, I don't know if he had texted me or he was just trying to leave me alone, but I texted him like, well, we're both going to climb out of the hole now.
Yeah. Okay, good. You got to be there for each other. That's how we do it. I don't want your wife yelling at you again about your baseball stuff. I can't take that anymore.
Nope. No, we got it under control. Speaking of your lovely bride, she was here to help out with your homework assignment. Yes, she was. Your dog's name again, help me out. Louie. Yes. Louie is living with her while she is finishing up veterinary school on the West Coast. And so we asked to see Louie do some dog tricks, and let's see how Louie did. Here we go.
Touch. Good.
That's a new one.
Good. Sit.
I'll behave.
Stay. Stay. Okay.
And zoom.
That's awesome. So good. Louie did a great job.
Yeah, he also knows shake, roll over, bang. So bang is like you go like this, and then he goes,
oh my gosh.
I'll try and get videos of those ones, but
yeah,
we're more focused on his fitness right now. He's gained a little bit of weight.
Oh, he got the COVID-15.
Yeah, he got the 15 would be crazy. He's only 24 pounds, but no, he's great. He's doing well. That new one is impressive though, because he's not the best. He's like a good walker, but he doesn't like certain things. He's a very particular dog. And so he doesn't like seeing other dogs while walking. He doesn't like squirrels and stuff like that. And so that new one where she goes tss, 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 and he like comes over and sits right at her feet, that's going to be very helpful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, tell your wife thank you. Mrs. Rose gave it an A++ because she loves dogs on top of everything else. It was outstanding. As I wrote to you on the text when I saw the video, your dog is smarter than either of my children. So an outstanding job. No question. So your homework assignment for the next time, you've got a long homestand, a lengthy one. And do you like to cook?
Sometimes.
Do you plan on cooking, or are you more of a let's order it in if I need to?
During season, it's a lot more of either eat at the field,
right?
Because we get like pretty good food.
Yes, you do
at the field.
Great way to save money too. Very economical.
Yep. Or order, delivery. A lot of options here in downtown Chicago.
That was my point here. So I'm not going to make you cook a meal, but if you do, you can kind of walk us through it and tell us what the Giolito special is on the menu, or you can order from one of your favorite places and give us a breakdown. You know, you could be a food critic. It's arguably the best city in the country to be one.
That sounds good.
Hey, doable?
Oh, yeah.
Great. I love it. All right. Spin the wheel of moderately interesting things and get Lucas Giolito out of here for the day.
What? Maybe I even go to a restaurant.
Oh, I don't know what the rules are.
Oh, today's our 2 weeks since our vaccine.
Oh, so you're good to go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, even better.
Yeah, maybe I go to a restaurant and just, you know what though? Like, I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to be that guy in the restaurant.
Yes,
like,
yes.
Yeah. So very, very nice. Whatever I got here. Oh God.
You're swishing the wine around, swirling around the glass.
Yeah.
Maybe a sommelier on top of everything else. God, do what you want with it. Be creative. You've got that artistic brain. I know that. Here we go.
Spin it.
E-tail.
E-tail.
E-tail. Tell me the last thing that you bought online.
Oh, just last night I bought new headphones and a mix amp. Because as of, we're filming this right now, the new Call of Duty Warzone Season 3 just came out. And I just wanted to upgrade the headphones a little bit so I can hear the footsteps better. So I had to get that mix amp too.
Got it.
Yeah.
God, that's such rich guy problems right there. That is so awesome. So I can hear the footsteps better.
Well, I have all my buddies and I play with them, and I just they'll be like, hey, let's say they're all dead and they're spectating me while I'm playing. They can see and hear everything that I'm doing in the game. And I'll be sitting in a house and they're like, oh, I hear 2 people coming up on the east side and there's a guy downstairs. I'm like, what? How do you know that? And they're like, I hear it. I hear the footsteps. And so I'm like, all right, I got to get on this train.
Okay. Have you done MLB The Show?
Oh yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Got it all set up. The PS5, that's another thing. Well, I got the new headphones so I can have headphones that actually work with my PS5.
Okay.
So it's kind of a dual purchase there. And yeah, I'm looking forward to my special 99 card I get.
Mm-hmm.
Build up that Diamond Dynasty team. I can't hit. Like, I don't know if you've played yet.
I watched my son play.
Okay, I think they made hitting way harder.
Yeah.
I feel like I can dot up pitching, but I can't hit. It's kind of like real life.
Yeah. We learned that on today's episode. Do you play as yourself?
I do for my scouting report stuff.
Oh.
Yeah. When I play the game, like in preparation, and I'm going through, we talked about this, right?
I don't think so.
How I play MLB The Show for scouting.
Wow. Okay. That's awesome. We're
You
going to
didn't know
save this
that?
for next time.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, I know that
we
you
can
did
get
it, but I
into it.
really want to get into it.
Yeah, we can get into it next time. I feel, I don't know. Maybe we did, maybe we didn't. But all I know is that it's like been covered a decent amount here.
Okay.
And I got some stories.
Okay, good. But I want you to really focus on the details as to whether or not it really looks like Lucas Giolito out there.
Oh, my like character model and everything.
Yes.
I feel like they made my upper body buff. And that's just, I just don't have that. Like,
All right,
you were talking about earlier with me, Max, and Jack, like who would be the model or whatever. Like
right.
In MLB The Show, it might be me, swimsuit model. Because they made me like have this stacked upper half, which just is not a real thing.
Hey,
I'll take it though.
Start doing some push-ups. Let's go, bro.
Yeah, for real.
Well, listen, I appreciate you getting your buddies on the show. They were great. It was a ton of fun for us, and hopefully the listeners and the viewers enjoyed it out there. Don't forget, if you're joining us on the YouTube side of things, on the John Boy Media Baseball channel, hit the thumbs up, hit subscribe, and wherever you download your podcast, do that as well. Hit that button and give Lucas the 5 stars because he needs a little love. Lucas, it was great catching up with you, man. Awesome.
Great to see you, Chris, as always.
And thanks to everybody for tuning in here to the Chris Rose Rotation, part of John Boy Media. Special shout out to our editor, engineer extraordinaire, Robbie Scirocco as well. We'll see you next time.